Alright, so I'm going to try to make this pretty quick because this is the first video. This is the basic checkmates that you need to know in chess. You need to know these because otherwise you will not be able to finish a game, and you'll be better than probably about half of the players at chess if you know these. So we're going to go through four: checkmate with queen, checkmate with two rooks, checkmate with one rook, and then checkmate with a pawn, which ends up being like promoting the pawn. So to start off with the queen, the first thing that you want to know is that it's very important that you get this thing called knight opposition. This is where you have a queen like a knight's distance away from a king, and then you pretend like you are the king. So if he goes up one, you go up one. If he goes diagonally like this, you go diagonally like this, and you're eventually going to get to a position where you are in the corner, and then you have to get to the magic square. This is the magic square. It's 3 tiles away here and one tile away here. And the reason why this is the magic square is because the queen covers all of these squares at this point, which leaves the king with 2 squares. You want to leave the king with 2 squares so he always has moves. This would also be a magic square or a magic spot because you create this little the same idea where you keep him with 2 squares. If the king were over here, you could put the queen here or here. Those do the same thing. And then because the king is stuck, you just walk your king all the way up. And the good thing is at this point, it's literally pre-movable because he only has one move. And then you checkmate him like that. So that's going to be how you do it with queen. With 2 rooks, what you're going to do is you're going to focus on something called ladder mate. And so you put your rooks on the side here. You're going to want to cut the king off. So imagine your rook is a fence. We're going to cut him off on the rows. That's what we're deciding. So stick with the rows. And then what you do is you slowly take away rows from him. So you go here. You go here to take away more rows. He comes to attack you. Okay, just go to the other side. He's going to go over here. You can't play this, so just go to the other side. Because remember, your rooks are way faster. And you have checkmate like that. You can also do this vertically, where you have the rooks kind of dance like this, like that, and it's all about taking away the rows or the columns and then sliding your piece to the other side. This works with one rook and a queen as well, if you have one. The next one that we're going to do is one rook, and so this one is always easiest if you can cut the king more early because it kind of takes a second. So like I'm going to cut the king back here. And so what you want to do is this is a very important chess concept overall, so you're going to want to pay attention for this. This is something called opposition. Opposition is important because it leads to many tactics, especially with pawns that you'll see later. But it's pretty much where you force black to, or you initiate a staring contest with black where you can now mimic their moves. And so in this case, you want black to initiate the staring contest with you, as opposed to, like, I would be gaining opposition if my king were able to move here, because then you could copy what black does, but we want black to get the opposition in this case. So if black were to go here, we would be able to go here and force him back again along the rows this time. You can do it with the columns, but you have to set that up. Let's say I go here, he goes to the corner. What we want to do is we want to play a waiting move so that black is forced to come back towards us. We can go here. And so here, we can chase black. He's just going to keep doing this. So you might as well just go here. Black goes here. You might as well just go here first because now if he steps back, it's checkmate. And then you can kind of keep doing this dance with him. And then checkmate him. And remember, if you're off by 1 square, just play a waiting move with the rook, move him over 1 square, or move him to the other side. So that's you checkmate with 1 rook. And then here's how you checkmate with pawn. This is going to be the hardest one. The hardest one because it is drawable. If you don't play the right moves, you will get a draw. Where the other ones, it's always winning. And so the key is you want the opposition this time. So you mimic black when they move. This time, though, think of the pawn as having this whole column here, this whole file, as we call it in chess, where he moves, instead of following him to the same side of this file, you're going to outflank to the opposite side. That way, what you can do is you can maintain the opposition and push him down the board. So he goes this way, we outflank this way. If they ever come to the side like this, that doesn't work because you just push the pawn and your king's going to defend this pawn. Never, the key to this endgame, never put your king on the same rank as your pawn. Always have your king in front of your pawn because otherwise you won't be able to get opposition. So in this case, we can just keep walking up the board. And let's say, we play like a random move and he is able to get back here. We take that opposition back. He goes here. We go here. And now we have what's known as the red carpet. So we get these last 3 squares guarded by our king, which means that no matter what he does, we can just keep pushing this pawn and we can get a queen. And then you guys should remember that we can get this knight opposition here and we can get our magic square. And then we can just walk our king over and checkmate. All right, so that's going to be all for today. Those are the basic checkmates. Stay tuned for some other tips later on.